Welcome to the MyGivingSolutions.com customization demo. The screen we're looking at now is the screen an administrator sees when they sign into the system. To customize the system for your organization, you simply go to Administrative Tools, Maintenance, and Table Maintenance. This is where a church can set up their services. This is where they set the client report quick links, so the reports that they want to see on their home screen, you just scroll through the list of available reports, select one you want, and put it over here, and then it will appear on your home screen. Client settings, this is where much of the customization occurs. The top of this screen is just basic information about the organization, but this is where you tell the system if you want to display budget totals. And this is from a system-wide perspective. When you set up an individual fund, you will have options as to whether or not you wish to show the information on that fund. But again, from this standpoint, we're asking ourselves system-wide, do I want to have that capability? Would I like to display budget graphs? Am I going to accept online payments? If I am going to accept online payments, do I want to accept only debit cards? The system is set up to be able to take debit and credit cards, or if an organization desires to, we can limit that just to debit cards. Whether or not the organization will accept American Express. The client website, this is the landing page that the donor will be directed to once their contribution is complete. Transaction Center ID and Gateway ID are just code to make sure the money that's given online will be deposited into your bank account. Some organizations wish to receive an email every time a contribution is made. If you desire to do that, you click on this button here and enter the email address here. Some organizations choose to allow anonymous donations, and some do not. If you want to allow anonymous donations, you click this button here. This is where you enter your online giving welcome, and this is where you upload, or we upload on your behalf, your organization's logo. The email response, this is where you select what your thank you email is going to say when it goes out to your donors. You can have different responses based on different things. In our example here, we're giving different responses based on our different campuses. To give you an example of what one of these messages says, this one says, thank you for your contribution to, and the system automatically pulls the client name. Your contribution was allocated as follows, and it automatically pulls the contribution information. It informs them if they want to view their full contribution records, they can click here to go to MyGivingSolutions.com. And says we will continue to update you regarding the lives we have touched. Thanks again. Again, that's for this example, that is the thank you that goes out to people who give on behalf of the Keller campus. As you are customizing your messages, you can highlight this question mark here, and it will tell you the two things that you need to put in there so the system will pull the client name and the contribution, so you don't have to worry about remembering that. The system does have a generic thank you message, which you clicking here will select that for your organization. Our recommendation is that those be customized by the client, but again, you can use the generic if you would like to. Now, the system allows for unlimited funds. So these are different designated funds that a donor can give to. In our example, we have quite a few here, but if you want to add a new fund, you simply click on Add New Fund, and it will walk you through the steps that you need to set up that fund. Of course, it's going to need a fund name, fund description, fund number, and sort order. Simply when a donor is selecting what fund they're going to give to, order will indicate whether this fund will come up first, second, third, fourth, and so on. Funds have start dates and end dates. Some funds will have a relatively short life. For example, we're advertising a golf tournament up here. If we were going to have a registration fund for that golf tournament, it might only be up for a couple of months. But all funds will have a start and end date. Generally, those will match your fiscal year. This allows the system to generate reports such as where are we at in our giving in this particular fund this year compared to where we were in this fund last year. If a fund is no longer valid, you can deactivate it. If a fund has a budget, you enter that amount here. If a fund is a pledge fund, you simply select pledge fund and then indicate the number of years over which the pledges will be completed. You can determine if a fund is going to be tax deductible. Most of your donation funds, of course, will be, but if you're selling CDs or books or t-shirts or something like that, then that might not necessarily be a tax-deductible fund. And then on an individual fund level, do I want to display this budget information to my donors? So again, you can select that for each fund. However many campuses the fund is applicable to, you simply add them. Headlines, this is where you select the headlines for your organization. Again, in our example, we're advertising a golf tournament, but you can see we have several set up with start dates and end dates. So theoretically, someone could sit down once a year and enter all the headlines for the year and just put the start and end dates for each of those headlines. Locations, this is if you are a multi-site organization, this is where you add locations, and again, all of these customization screens work the same. If you simply click on Add New Location, it will walk you through the steps necessary to add a location. Thank you very much for watching the mygivingsolutions.com customization demo.